Hey, welcome back everyone. Rob here from Ramp Studio Comics. So in today's video, I'll be drawing Bane for you. And this time I'm using a Sense Labs tablet. So just a regular tablet. Here's a picture of it for you. And I want to just tell you why I think this tablet has some real strengths to it and why you're going to see me using it more. So, one reason is out of necessity. My Cintiq just died, 10 years of use. It was amazing. It was awesome having it, but it slowly started to degrade in quality. I would say the past 2 years, it's become more and more problematic. And I was just starting to think, wow, this thing's going to die at any point. The screen started flickering. Sure enough, it was on its last leg. So I switched to this tablet because I was like, I don't really want to go out and buy another one. Cintiqs are super expensive. I mean, I want to say the closest thing to what I had, even a used version, was like $1,200, and I wouldn't want to buy something used like that. Because then you don't know how much time you got left before it goes out again. I guess you don't even know that was a new one, but some of these go up to like $2,500, $3,000. It's just crazy. So although I love that new tech and I would love to just jump in and buy one, I got to really be careful and hey, do I have something that already does the job? And this tablet does do the job. So this was the big issue for me. I've done previous illustrations where with this tab, I've done some of my favorite types of paintings with an Intuos 4 or even a 3. So I knew I could paint on them. I knew I could sculpt in ZBrush on them. It's just whenever I went to draw something, I would generally compromise things like the cross-hatching and the 90s style work that we all know and love here on the channel. So I would compromise a little bit of that. I just didn't get in there with the real tight rendering that I like to do. So I didn't feel like I could really do my best work on that thing. But then I challenged myself on this one. I said, I'm just going to go for it. And all of a sudden it came out pretty easy. Like not only did I not feel like I was struggling to do the cross-hatching or the rendering, any of that, I actually felt better through the overall process than I have in a long time, other than drawing on paper. That's my traditional art is my all-time best feeling. Like obviously you're connecting with the art in the most, relatable way, the way that we've always drawn, right? So these digital products always feel a little bit different, but this time it didn't feel nearly as awkward. So even with my Cintiq and my iPad Pro, lately I've felt more of a disconnect. Something about drawing on that screen, even with the screen protector, even with the right nibs, it's just awkward. It just, sometimes I get hypersensitive to it and I got to go take a break, I got to do something else, go lift some weights, go take a walk, go read a book, something, and come back. And sometimes that'll de-stress me enough, or I don't know, reduce my anxiety, whatever it is I'm feeling, I don't know what it is. And then I come back and maybe get through it. But that didn't happen on this particular instance. So it made me realize it's not just I'm a stressed out artist, which that's part of it. The other part is there's a certain aspect of it. If you get the settings just right or your setup just right, you can stay in the moment. It's about achieving that sense of like creativity and flow and staying there. So a big part for me is putting on music, even music without lyrics. It just really helps me zone out and stay there for a bit. Don't look at my phone. Don't look, I even don't like the part where I got to pull up reference because I know there's a chance that it's going to pull me out of that flow state or whatever. And I got to really stay focused to do this stuff. But there's another part of it. It's like if you're not feeling ergonomically correct, right? Your back's not upright, you're hunched over, or maybe you feel more comfortable hunched over. So maybe that's you get in that state and you feel really good. There's a lot to be said for that. Well, with this particular setup, I set the tablet on my lap. I'm leaned back in my chair. My back's nice and straight. I can draw for a longer period of time and I can feel like I'm doing my body a service. I mean, you shouldn't sit in a chair too long anyways, but it's kind of hard to walk around and draw pictures, especially when you're got a cord at the end of your device. But so you have to get in a very comfortable state, but not just comfortable. It needs to be good for your body because you're going to start getting agitated. It's just like if you don't work out enough, generally, I mean, I don't know how you are, but I know how I am. If I don't work out enough, I get agitated. I get upset. I need that I need to release that energy. My body's telling me you got to use that stuff. It's healthy. Well, the other part is that when drawing on this, if it's feeling right, you get better art. You just do. Just like drawing on paper, it generally comes out better for me because I feel a better connection to that friction on the page. Well, one of the nice things about this particular tablet is it has a really good friction on the surface of it. So you feel like you're not sliding around a slick screen. I mean, it feels very, very natural. So that's a big part. Now, the other part, again, that plays into the ergonomics of it is I have this nice big screen, okay? And, not everybody's going to be able to run out and buy a big screen. This is a 32-inch that I'm working off of an NVIDIA G-Sync LG. Awesome screen. It raises up and down. But it's big enough where I can use something like Clip Studio Paint. I can have all those tools and buttons, and I don't feel constricted or restricted. I feel like I have ample room to do my thing. And in fact, oftentimes I put two pieces of art side by side and I bounce back and forth if I'm getting bored. Now, if you're a traditional artist, you're probably like, well, dude, why wouldn't you just draw on paper? You just said that was the best feeling. The reason I always come back to this is because, unfortunately, at this point in my career, I'm not an artist that makes money off comic art. I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm a guy that basically makes money off videos, right? I sell videos. Essentially. I mean, I hate to get all money about it, but that's what I do. I make video courses. I make videos on YouTube and Instagram and these different things. I don't make money off the actual art. So it's really important to me that I can capture video as effortlessly as possible. Well, with these softwares, capturing the video is a matter of starting a new canvas and you're done. You don't have to click record. You don't got to worry about where you save the file. It's all integrated into the software, in this case, Clip Studio Paint. So that's big for me. Until I become an artist that, I could sell the art, then that would probably change a bit. But it's still a lot harder to capture the video for traditional art. In fact, even the file sizes are massive. They're gigabytes, where video files on screen captures are more like megabytes. So there's a big difference there. So that's another part of it. The other thing is the price point. So like going out and buying another Cintiq, I mean, these things, as I already mentioned, they're really expensive. This thing, it was actually gifted to me for doing a sponsored video, which I'm super thankful for. But I think they're about $300 and just well worth it. They come with two styluses. The material and the structure of it is really high quality. I would say better quality than the Wacoms, really. I mean, I don't know if they are or they're not, but they both have the 8,192 pressure levels of pressure sensitivity. But this thing is a really good build. And this is not a sponsored video. I'm going to use an affiliate link in the description box below because it helps me out on the channel. But this is not sponsored by them. I'm literally just saying, hey, you're going to see me using this thing more. I have to. My Cintiq broke. And even with the iPad Pro, I'm going to use that a lot because of portability. I can't beat the portability aspect of that. But the screen is so small, I feel it now because, again, with this other setup, I have a nice big screen. I can lean back and I can really get into the art and just stay there. And it feels almost more natural now than the iPad Pro. Now, for a lot of you, drawing on a screen that's sitting on your lap and looking up is going to feel very unnatural for quite some time. It did for years for me. Like I just said, it was up until recently that I started feeling very comfortable with the cross-hatching aspect of it. The only thing I could figure is that either the technology got better, the screen surface having the friction that it does is a bit better for me, or I just finally logged in enough time to feel comfortable with it. Because it does take a lot of time. You're looking up at a screen, you're drawing on your lap or on the table, wherever you put it. But I've heard a lot of people say, hey, I tried, I just couldn't get used to it. But did you try it long enough? Or did you try it with the commitment that, you know what, you're going to get good at it. You're going to make it work because it's all you have. Like a lot of times, what's that saying? To take the island, you have to burn the ships. If you know you can go back, you're going to go back. And if you know you can go back to something that was more comfortable and easier for you to use, you're going to go back to that. I kind of treated this like I didn't have that. I don't have that option now. I mean, I could say my iPad Pro is my way out. I'll just use only that. And again, I'm going to still use that. I'm not going to stop using that because for portability, it's perfect for me. But there's other aspects where I really want to push forward and utilize this type of device. Mainly too, when I tell other people that, when you go to work with digital art, you might have to get this type of device or that type of device. I like showing people there's an option that's a lot more affordable. I mean, obviously you still got to have a computer, and then you got to pony up the dough for one of these tablets, which even at a couple $100, that's no chump change. But it's not $2-3 grand. Like, I don't want to be the guy where I'm like, well, now I got the Cintiq 32 whatever, and who knows, maybe I'll get it, but I doubt it. Like, I don't want to, because it's way too much money, and it's like, for what? So I can talk about how I use this device, and people can look at it and go, well, yeah, but you just do good art because you have that really cool device. No, it's not about the device. It's about the artist. Beautiful art can be made with finger paintings. I mean, you got to first believe that you can do it. I mean, that's the beginning of everything. To anything you do in life, art, whatever it is, you got to first believe you can do it, believe it to achieve it, right? That's just the way it goes. If you don't believe it, you're gonna put landmines all over the path to you getting there anyways. You're gonna self-destruct. But if you believe wholeheartedly, I can do this, I got this. There's times that people either out of necessity achieved great things, or they just need to see somebody else do it first and then gained confidence that it could be done, and then it achieved it afterwards. So again, it does kind of reinforce that idea. First, you have to believe it to achieve it. Now, I know that sounds real fortune cookie and all that, and I'm not trying to get all super motivational here, but at the same time, I really think that that's a lot of what holds people back from even art. It's like you see somebody create amazing art, and you're like, whoa, like, how am I ever going to get to that level? Because what I can draw right now isn't comparable. But you just have to keep putting in the time, just like they did. They didn't start out amazing. They didn't start out great. They had to put in a lot of work and effort behind the scenes. And just remember, distractions are a real thing. And if you can avoid those, if you can avoid the parts where it takes you out of the creative process, if you can avoid the parts where it's not ergonomically correct for your body, because essentially your body is going to start fighting you and say, hey, whoa, you got to get up and go do something. You've been eating too many donuts, chilling in that reclining chair for too long. This ain't good. And your body will start inducing stress I think it's trying to get you up out of that chair or something. But you'd have to talk to somebody that knows more about the body on that. But at any rate, I just wanted to share this and say, okay, look, it can be done. Obviously, also, I'm a big fan of like looking at other artists that do amazing stuff, and they use these same tablets or type of tablets. Just to name a few, you can check out their work. You got Clayton Barton. He's on my featured channels list. Has a beautiful rendered style. You've got Chris Scalf, which does a hyper-realistic, super detailed painterly style. A couple other ones that I don't really know their inner workings of their workflow as much, but I've seen that they used regular tablets. Patrick Brown, for a long period of time, I want to say used Intuos 3 or 4. Again, you'll have to research these guys and see if you can ask and see what they use. But I think he might have switched to a Cintiq, but he did gorgeous work on an Intuos tablet. And then another one is Vic Bogdanovic. I'm probably slaughtering that, but he's done a bunch of DC product. Beautiful run on Batman. Very detailed style and just a great style. And I want to say he did all that on an Intuos 3. I think I found a tweet somewhere where he mentioned that. So at any rate, it can be done. It's just a matter of, do you want it bad enough? Will you spend enough time to allow your muscle memory and you to kind of wrap your head around it, things like that. But I think it has some real strengths, not just the price, but also, again, the ergonomics for your body, being able to set up a screen that's maybe bigger if you need that for all your tools and roll out buttons. Like Clip Studio's just got a massive amount of roll out buttons. So anyways, thanks very much for tuning in and watching. I hope you like the art. More of this on the way real soon. As always, keep drawing, keep having fun, and bye for now.